Whenever you go out, you got to get the appetizer, because the appetizer is just an excuse for an extra meal. And I was like, let's see, I will start with the 80 buffalo wings. And do you have a low-cal blue cheese? Because I don't want to fill up too much. It would be kind of embarrassing trying to explain what an appetizer is to someone from a starving country, though. Yeah, the appetizer, that's food we eat before we have our food. Yeah. No, you're thinking of dessert. That's food we eat after we have our food. Yep, we eat tons of food. Sometimes there's so much we just stick it in a bag, bring it home, give it to the dog. You ever get the doggy bag? You're like, oh no, put this in a box in a bag and I'll bring it home and throw it out tomorrow.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone astray is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, ma'am. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter.
Tony Bennett. We just had to say goodbye to him in July of this year. I think July 21st he passed away. I got to meet Tony Bennett. I was in Atlanta, working at a radio station in Atlanta, and we had a party after his concert because we were the sponsors of his concert in town. And he couldn't have been a nicer guy. He stopped and took pictures with every contestant we had, and there were other people at the party as well, other dignitaries and politicians showed up at the party. And I have a picture of myself and Tony Bennett. The problem in the picture is, you got to remember the year, it was 1977. I was wearing a leisure suit. He was wearing a tuxedo. And I had a big set of hair on my head because it was 1977. But I have that picture with Tony Bennett, and I'm telling you, this guy took pictures with everybody, posed, didn't gripe, and shook hands and talked to everybody. One of the nicest people. One of the other nicer people we ever ran into was Wayne Newton. He was not aware that he was supposed to meet our contestants after his concert. And he called his manager in and he said, listen, change my flight. Give me another 3 hours. And he actually changed his flight so he can take pictures and meet each one of our contestants who won tickets to the show. Wayne Newton, Tony Bennett, wonderful people. Yep. And we'll miss him. He didn't perform with, I think he recorded an album with Lady Gaga before he passed away. What a talent, Tony Bennett. Huh? What a talent. Now, he did some acting. He's not a great actor, I'll tell you that. But the movie he was in was called The Oscar, starring Stephen Boyd as an over-the-top, egotistical actor who wanted nothing but to win the Academy Award. And Tony Bennett, I guess, was his best friend and sort of manager. It's a really good movie. It's one of those trashy movies, one of those movies you want to say to yourself, I'm not going to tell anybody I watched it, but I really had a good time watching it. They call it guilty pleasure. So Tony Bennett was in it. He wasn't a great actor, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm Don Rosen, and good morning. It's 10 minutes after 6 at WRJN. We're Civic Media. We're Hometown Radio Refreshed. 1400 AM, 99.9 FM in Racine, 98.1 FM in Kenosha. Our forecast for today, it's going to be gorgeous. Next few days, sunny with a high near 49 today. Clear overnight tonight, lows 34. Sunny again tomorrow, highs near 49. Saturday, cloudy with a slight chance of rain and a high near 45. And sun is out again on Sunday with a high near 44. You believe we're near 50 today? Here we are, a week away from Christmas. Or a little over a week. It's clear. We have a beautiful clear sky this morning, 32 degrees, a crisp, clear, nice morning. Coming up at 7:06 this morning, we have got a special guest, the general manager of PBS Milwaukee. That's Channel 10s and 36. Debbie Hamlet will be here. We're talking about PBS. They just had their fund drive. I don't know if it's 36 or 37, but for 36 or 37 years, I hosted their Channel 10 auction each year for 10 and 36. And they don't do it anymore because times have changed the way people bid on stuff and they go on the internet to do it. And I guess it just didn't pan out anymore. But anyway, we'll talk to Debbie Hamlet about that. General manager of PBS Milwaukee coming up at 7:06 this morning. Our next story, I want you to think of the Griswold family in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. A couple in New York State holds the record for the most Christmas lights on a residential property. It's up to 720,000 lights this year. Their neighbors are sick of it and want to rein it in. One guy ran for office last year. His platform was to make them stop. He says it's like living next to Legoland for 40 days. The couple says they do it for charity. They raise money with the lights and so forth, and they don't plan to do it forever. But once they hit a grand total of $1 million in donations, they'll take them down. Now, that's nothing compared to some of those light shows you see on that ABC show, The Great Light Fight. You ever see that stuff? Imagine living in that neighborhood. It's not so much the lights, it's the traffic that comes with people wanting to see the lights. Now, there's a home in, I don't know if it's Racine or Frenchville, I'm not quite sure. They have a nice light demonstration, light display. And what they do is it's all choreographed to music, and you could tune in on your radio, an FM frequency they have for like a block or two, or low power. But the traffic starts because people want to come in and park their cars and listen. And, it runs about 10, 15 minutes, maybe that much. But these giant light shows they show on ABC's Great Light Fight, you got to take a look at some of these properties. Now, some of them are out in the middle of nowhere, but some are in residential neighborhoods. And I got to tell you, I don't know if I'd like that traffic year round. Now, they do it a year in advance. So the lights you're seeing now are last year's lights. That's just the way they have to do it. But yeah, think of the Griswold family when you think of this. Remember those lights? He turned them on, and all of a sudden, the couple next door, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her boyfriend, got blown across the room by the lights. For better or worse, the holidays are packed with nostalgia. A new survey asked people what ignites the most nostalgia during the holiday season for them. Number one, spending time with loved ones. Decorating the Christmas tree was a close second, followed by holiday lights, holiday music, holiday movies, baking cookies, cooking holiday meals, receiving a holiday card, and vintage decorations. With me, it's always been the holiday lights. Now, we never hung lights at our house growing up, so I had to depend on everybody else's lights to entertain me, which was fine. And I remember the lights coming home. I was talking the other day about coming home from Brooklyn one night, and I remember the lights right off the parkway of some of these homes were just tremendous. And that's what I'm nostalgic about, lights. And I put lights on my house several years ago. I didn't want to climb any more ladders. I didn't want to be that statistic in the ER that fell from a ladder. But I got the retro bulbs, the kind they used to use in the 50s and the 60s and early 70s. I got those, and I love them. I still have them in the basement. The second year, I put them on the banister outside the house, but you couldn't really see them, so I stopped doing it. But, yeah, nostalgic for lights. I love that. A 9-year-old in Colorado. Oh, this, you want to be unselfish? You're going to have to top this little girl. 9-year-old in Colorado named Millie, heartbroken when her dog Bella passed away a year ago. She still hasn't forgotten about her. Her parents recently asked what she wanted for Christmas. Millie handed them a flyer she made for a pet drive in Bella's honor. Here's what she wants. She wants to collect dog toys and other items for shelter animals this year. Her goal is to make sure every shelter dog has a toy to open on Christmas. I hope she gets her wish. How unselfish is that? An Amazon driver going viral for listing the top 3 things she wishes she would have to stop delivering. She wants you to stop ordering these online. Kitty litter, dog food, and bottled water. They say, why that stuff? Well, The kitty litter and dog food are in those giant, giant bags, and they're very, very heavy. The bottled water comes in cases of 40. Now, I do the 24 bottles, and that's heavy. I can't imagine what 40 bottles of water is like. So she said, please stop ordering that online. You thought the real life housing market was out of control. A British food artist created the world's most expensive gingerbread house, $7.9 million. Now, in all fairness, he lined it with diamonds, which kind of brings up the price. My question is, if we take out the diamonds, can we eat the house? I mean, is it edible? If you're going to spend $7.9 million, you should be able to eat the house. Everybody's telling me CDs, compact discs, are dead. I talked to so many people that say, I don't have a CD player. I got rid of mine years ago. All my CDs gone. Same thing with DVDs. They say, get rid of those. I don't use those anymore. Well, I guess they're not totally dead because Yamaha just came out with a new 5-disc CD changer priced at $549. So somebody's buying this stuff, or they wouldn't keep coming up with new inventions. I can't believe people, I mean, I don't know. I still collect DVDs and CDs. So, and look what's coming back. Vinyl. You know, vinyl outsold compact discs last year. You go to the library now, the public library. They now have vinyl back stocked in the library because people like vinyl. We had a brand new record player installed in this studio that I'm sitting in right now, right back of me. A brand new record player. Where they found it, I don't know, but they had it installed for Lou Regatta on Sunday mornings, so he can play some of the music on vinyl right in back of me. All right. If you're stressed out, I've got a list of chores here that should relieve the stress. Are you ready? Cooking, cleaning, gardening, doing laundry, and folding laundry. Now, this is real. It's not just someone's experiment in reverse psychology to get you to do all this stuff. Supposedly, it's real. We're looking for a sunshiny day today with a high near 49 degrees. Same tomorrow, exactly the same tomorrow. Saturday, chance of rain, but cloudy for the most part. Highs near 45, partly sunny on Sunday with a high near 44. I'm Don Rosen, and right now we've got a clear sky in the Racine area and 32 degrees. This is Civic Media Radio, WRJN, hometown radio, refreshed at 1400 AM, 99.9 FM, and 98.1 FM in Kenosha. It's 621 at WRJN Radio. Thanks for joining us. And coming up at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock, actually 7:06, Debbie Hamlet, the general manager of PBS Milwaukee, Channel 10 and 36. We're talking to her about their fund drive and also what's coming up on PBS. Don Rosen. Rosen, thanks for joining us here this morning at WRJN. I've got some interesting fun facts now about popular Christmas songs. All I Want for Christmas Is You, written in 15 minutes. Mariah Carey recorded it in August. Also, Faith Hill's Where Are You Christmas was written by Mariah, who was going to record it, but her ex-husband, Tony Mottola, gave it to Faith Hill instead. Maybe that's why they got divorced. When Brenda Lee recorded Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree in 1958, she was just 13 years old, and this year, the number one song on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. First time. It took 65 years to get there. Let's see. Jingle Bells. The song is over 150 years old, published in 1857. It's not a Christmas song. It was meant to be a Thanksgiving song. You ever hear the song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch? Well, the guy who is doing that is Thurl Ravenscroft. He's also the voice of Great Tony the Tiger. Yeah, for over 50 years, Thurl Ravenscroft. Irving Berlin wrote the song White Christmas and hated Elvis Presley's version so much he tried to get it banned from the radio. Really? White Christmas is not from the movie White Christmas, by the way. It's from the movie Holiday Inn. And then they made a movie based on the song White Christmas. Silver Bells, originally called Tinkle Bell. The writer changed it after his wife mentioned the double meaning of the word tinkle, which is pretty good. It's actually from a movie, too. It's from the Bob Hope movie, The Lemon Drop Kid. The Chipmunk Song, up until this year, was the only Christmas song ever to hit number one on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The Chipmunk Song. I may have mentioned this before, but David Seville and the Chipmunks, the name of the group, he does all the Chipmunk voices. David Seville, his real name is Ross Bagdasarian. And before he did the Chipmunks, he was an actor. And he had one major role. It was in the Alfred Hitchcock classic Rear Window. And he had sort of a big role in the film. When James Stewart is looking out through his binoculars at the apartment building across the way, there's a whole bunch of different windows, and one of them has a guy playing a piano. It's on the left side of the building. That's Ross Bagdasarian, David Seville. In that scene, Alfred Hitchcock makes his appearance, fixing something on the wall. I think a clock on the wall while Ross Bagdasarian is playing the piano. But that's David Seville. Do You Hear What I Hear? Written for a call for peace during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. Eartha Kitt did a follow-up to Santa Baby. The following year, called This Year's Santa Baby, it was the same song, different lyrics. It flopped. And the Roman Catholic Church condemned the 1952 song I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus because they thought it promoted adultery. They backed off after 13-year-old singer Jimmy Boyd explained that Santa was really the kid's dad. You couldn't figure that out on your own? You would think you could, huh? All right. Showbiz news. I don't know why this tops our showbiz news. I don't know how important this is, but Tom Cruise might have a new girlfriend. You can check out the new trailer for Dune Part 2. Hits theaters March 1st. And this was kind of a shocker. Al Michaels reportedly surprised to learn he will not be calling a playoff game for NBC this year. It's like the first time in decades that Al Michaels won't be heard. They didn't say why. But I think it's one of those things that want to bring younger people in. That's what I can figure. Remember Tom Bergeron was the host for years of Dancing with the Stars? And they said, no, we're getting rid of you. We want somebody younger in here. Well, they went through a series of hosts that were terrible. They should have stuck with Tom Bergeron. All right, here's a fun fact for you. No, I think I used that yesterday. Let's skip that one. Here. What do you do with gifts you order online but don't make it in time for Christmas? And it happens more than you think. It happens in our house, too. What do you do when the gift's not there? It doesn't get delivered in time because you ordered it like 2 days before. Well, according to the survey, 45% of people give someone a photo of the gift, which that's not a bad idea. Here's what I got you. Unfortunately, I ordered it the last second and it didn't get here in time. Others give them an IOU as a placeholder. I like the photo idea. It's not bad. Christmas shopping might be actually good as exercise. Well, we'll see. And that's important because literally nothing else during the Christmas season is remotely healthy, and that includes the food. A new study found the average person walks about 5 miles during a Christmas shopping trip, usually because it takes at least 5 hours to find everything you need. Study also found 77% of us make up to 5 shopping trips leading up to Christmas. And if you're counting, that's 25 miles over 25 hours, which is actually some pretty serious exercise. 93% of us go to at least 3 different cities to do our shopping. Remember when the malls were around? I can't believe I'm saying that. Remember when the malls were here? How nostalgic that was. Used to do a lot of walking in the malls. They had mall walkers. They used to get there in the morning and just walk the malls. But when you're doing shopping, it's very easy to do laps around the mall. Let's see. I got to hold off on that. Don't have enough time for that. Christmas tree trivia. Do we have enough time for this? I'll get to this real fast here. People have been buying Christmas trees since the you know what? I don't want to rush it. We'll get to that in a second. I got all these long stories here. All right, do this one. Here are the top things people must regret posting on social media. Unflattering photos, drunk photos, immature comments, boring status updates, emotional outbursts. Post with an opinion that you don't have anymore, which will haunt you in the memories. Photos of you doing things you shouldn't have been doing. Photos in skimpy clothing or underwear. Loving comments about an ex who you don't love anymore. Bad language, controversial opinions that got people offended. Jokes that showed bad taste, unpleasant comments about someone, vain selfies, and pictures of food. Now, see, I don't post anything. The only times I post something is I belong to a radio group, and there's a couple of movie groups. That's the only thing. But I don't post things in general because I don't have anything to say of interest to anybody, so I just don't do it. We're looking for sunshine today with a high near 49. Same exact forecast tomorrow. Cloudy, chance of rain on Saturday with a high near 45. Partly sunny Sunday with a high near 44. Pretty good weekend. Last weekend before Christmas, right? If I do my math right, well, we have, 14 carry the 1. Let's see. It's the 14th. That means we got 11 days till Christmas. All right. And tonight, the last night of Hanukkah. Night number 8 of Hanukkah tonight. 629 at WRJN Radio, Hometown Radio, refreshed. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will have, at 7:06, Debbie Hamlet. She's the general manager of PBS Milwaukee. Should be fun talking to her.
Children sing, so.
Well, that's not going to work. That's still skipping. Let's see. There it goes. Now it sounded okay.
We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to the journey's end. Destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When it seems that we have lost our way, we find ourselves again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste.
Josh Groban, and that's from the Polar Express. Got to watch that this season. I love that movie. 6:37 at WRJN Radio. We're looking for a sunny day today with a high near 49. Exact forecast again tomorrow. Chance of rain on Saturday, but mostly cloudy with a high near 45 and partly sunny with a high near 44 degrees on Sunday. No excuse not to get that Christmas shopping done. Nope. You got to get it done. We're going to check news now at WRJN. This is from Stuart J. Wattles in our news center. He's our news director. He put this together for us this morning. One former Kenosha Unified School Board member says the district could have asked taxpayers for more money instead of closing the schools. The board made a final decision this week to close 5 elementary schools and Lincoln Middle School while reducing staff at Ruther Central. The move came after a couple of hours of community feedback, mostly negative. The decision also involves relocating students from Washington Middle School to the Bain Building. Some are noting that several of the unified buildings set to close had just had improvements done, including new windows installed at many locations. Your local police is likely boosting holiday patrols. Most law enforcement departments are starting up the Strive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign, increasing patrols to deter impaired driving and ensure public safety. Every 2 hours, someone is killed or injured in an impaired driving crash in Wisconsin, with 400 crashes involving impaired drivers just last year alone. Amtrak's Hiawatha line, which connects Milwaukee and Sturtevant to Chicago, is undergoing a significant change by eliminating the monthly pass option and introducing only a 10 ride pass. This change has resulted in a cost increase for daily commuters to and from Chicago, almost doubling their expenses. Amtrak claims that the Hiawatha line is not intended for commuter use. The Lake County Coroner's Office has confirmed the identity of the body found in the search for a missing teenage girl. 17-year-old Brissa Romero's body was recovered from a Vernon Hills retention pond, where her vehicle was also found. Police believe the car was accidentally driven into the pond. Preliminary autopsy results indicate that Romero's death was consistent with drowning. He was reported missing while en route to a holiday party at a bowling alley in Vernon Hills. And finally, a woman driving an SUV that crashed into the back of a cement truck in Kenosha County yesterday is okay. Despite being initially thought to have life-threatening injuries, she was later found to be in stable condition and held at a hospital for observation. The woman flown to Milwaukee after hitting the truck at Highway 50 and P. Traffic in the area rerouted for a couple of hours. Those are the news stories we're watching. Stuart J. Wattles in our news center this morning. He'll have updates on those stories and more stories throughout the day right here at WRJN. It's 6:40 right now. We may not have our guest at the top of the hour. We'll see what we can do. Her battery is dead in the car, and she had to call AAA to jump the car, and she might not be here. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe she can get here. Maybe not. Maybe we can get her on the phone. That's Debbie Hamlet, the general manager of PBS. I just got a message from her. So we'll see what we can do. This Christmas, like every Christmas, there's a chance your significant other is going to have something horrible. It's going to give you something horrible. So how are you going to react to it? A new survey asked women what they do with a particularly bad gift. Here's how the women handle it. 1/3 return it immediately. 25% actually wear or use it to avoid hurting their partner's feelings. 20% regift it. 10% sell it on eBay. The survey also found 40% of women now pick out what their significant other buys them. 30% practice looking thankful in a mirror in case they have to react to a present they don't like. Women also name the worst gifts they've ever gotten. You ready for this? A chainsaw, nose hair trimmers, a fishing pole, a fossil, hair removal cream, a dustpan and brush, a sweater with an alien printed on it, a tube and funnel. Well, we won't go to the bathroom outdoors, I guess. Cellulite cream and a cleaning wash for their body. Now, in all fairness, I told you yesterday, my dad got my mom an electric broom, basically a vacuum cleaner for the holidays once, and he loved it. She said she loved it, but I think she practiced in the mirror to make sure that everything was okay and how she'd react to it. All right, let's do a Christmas tree trivia contest here, okay? People have been buying Christmas trees since the 1500s. True or false? Well, that's true. The Germans started selling them in 1530. There are just under 2,000 Christmas tree farms in the United States right now. That's false. The real number is 15,000 Christmas tree farms in the U.S. Around 350 million Christmas trees are currently growing on 350,000 acres of land. Lowe's, that's the hardware store, Lowe's, sells more Christmas trees in the U.S. than any other retailer. False. Home Depot does. They sold 2.6 million trees last year. Christmas trees are grown in all 50 states. That's true, even Hawaii. The states that produce the most trees: Oregon, North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Washington, and Wisconsin. But 80% of fake trees come from China. On average, it takes 4 years for a tree to grow in the ideal height of 6 or 7 feet. It takes an average of 7 years, but it can take up to 15 years for a Christmas tree to grow 6 or 7 feet. That's a lot of years to invest in a tree, isn't it? Yeah. All right, applying for a job. Real resumes, real stupid. These are actually from real resumes collected from hiring managers. None of these are made up. This is what they said. My intensity and focus are at an inordinately high level, and my ability to complete project on time is unspeakable. It's best for employers that I not work with people. That should be a red flag. Here are my qualifications for you to overlook. I am a quick learner, dependable, and motivated. Actually, it said I'm a quick leaner, dependable, and motivated. If this resume doesn't blow your hat off, then please return it in the enclosed envelope. My fortune cookie said, your next interview will result in a job, and I like your company in particular. People actually write this stuff on it. Please disregard the attached resume. It's terribly out of date. Graduated in the top 66% of my class. Reason for leaving my last job. The owner gave me new meaning to the word paranoia. I prefer to elaborate privately. And previous experience, self-employed, a fiasco. That's good. It's 6:44 at WRJN Radio. Thank you for joining me here. I'm Don Rosen. We have sunshine for today with a high near 49 degrees. A clear sky tonight, lows around 34. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 49. And cloudy with a chance of rain on Saturday and a high near 45 degrees. Sunny, partly cloudy on Sunday. Well, let's see. They just changed that. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 44. I guess partly cloudy and partly sunny are basically the same thing. So when they changed it to partly cloudy, I guess it's the same thing. Regardless of whether you're naughty or nice this year, you're going to get Christmas presents. It's like how you basically have to tip a server too, right? You got to give them a gift. If you're terrible, even if they're terrible, you have to tip them. All right. So your survey found the top 10 naughty things we did this year, even though we're probably expecting gifts. 57% faked being sick to get out of something. 52% used their kids as an excuse to get out of doing something. So far, I'm good. I haven't done either of those. 33% threw trash in a recycling bin. I'm trying to think if I ever did that. No, I don't do that. 33% lied to their significant other about what they were doing or where they were. 29% had thoughts about their significant other's friends. 27% gossiped, which is probably way low. It's probably more than that. 19% of people in relationships cheated. Seems kind of high, though, right? 17% cheated on their taxes. I think that's low. 8% bullied someone, and 7% of the people who found a purse or wallet kept it. No, you're on the naughty list, but you still expect gifts, right? What's an idea you had that really seemed great until you actually did it? All right, here are the best ones we heard. As a child, I superglued bouncy balls to the bottom of my shoes. Didn't give me the super jumping ability I'd hoped for. You probably fell over is what you did. There were too many times when I've been drunk, at least at last call, and hopped into the cab to go over to the bad area of town where the bars didn't close until 4 a.m. Another bad idea. When I was a kid, I put water wings on my ankles so I can stand up in the pool. My dad had to jump in and save me from drowning. The only thing that did was turn you upside down in the pool. I had a one-night stand with a toll booth attendant who I had to drive past on the way to work every day for the next 2 years. And we tried bobbing for apples in a tub of vodka. It sounded great until you found out how much vodka stings your eyes, even when they're closed. Okay. I got a survey here that found 61% of women say they do not want to get lingerie for Christmas this year. In fact, women don't want you anywhere near the buying process. 86% of women say They like to buy all their own underwear and lingerie, and 68% like to go shopping for it alone. Survey also found it's one of the few products that people would rather buy in person than online. 72% of women say they need to buy it in person, alone. It's 647 at WRJN Radio. Thanks for joining us here today. Do appreciate it. We're going to see if we get our guest at the top of the hour. Her battery didn't start this morning. She can't get here. She can walk. It was 45 minutes to drive here, maybe a couple of hours to walk here. We'll see what we can do with Debbie Hamlet. She's the general manager of PBS. It's 6:53 at WRJN Radio. I'm Don Rosen. I want to thank you for joining us here at Civic Media, Hometown Radio. Refreshed. All right, it's the season for tipping. Do you tip people at Christmas time, like the letter carrier, the sanitation people on the street, your hairdresser, maybe somebody cuts your hair? Do you tip them at all? All right. Since we're all swimming in cash, here's a quick guide on holiday tipping and who you're supposed to tip and how much. The letter carrier. Now, they can accept gifts worth up to $20, but not cash or gift cards. Really? I always give my letter carrier a gift card. UPS and FedEx workers can accept cash. Paper boys can get $10 to $20 or a small gift. Paper boys are people who deliver something called a newspaper. Remember when that used to happen? Doormen. They get about $20 and up to $100. A handyman should get between $20 and $50 if they help you out a lot. And a super, that's a superintendent of a building, should get cash or a gift card worth $50. Daycare workers, cash best. Think about pitching in, or other parents giving workers between $100 and $300. Teachers, a small gift or something for the classroom. Probably not perfume. I told you the story. I used to give my teacher perfume along with every other student in the classroom. Babysitters, between 1 day and 1 week's worth of pay. Same goes for people like hairstylists and housekeepers, gardeners, and personal trainers. The garage attendants, if you happen to live in a place where there's, you have to park a car in a garage attendant, and it helps you out. Cash or a gift card worth $10 to $50. And the garbage guys, garbage men, around $20 or a $20 gift card. If you give cash, make sure they're allowed to accept it. You don't need to tip anyone who works on salary or anyone who owns a business. And I used to do that. When I used to get a haircut, the guy owned the business, and I still tipped him. And somebody said, "You're not supposed to." I don't know. I felt funny about not tipping him. If you own the business, you're not supposed to tip them, they say. But I do anyway. Apparently, people have gotten way freakier at past company Christmas parties than we ever realized. Check this out. Now, I've got a Christmas party coming up this weekend. And I don't get freaky at the Christmas parties. 60% have kissed a coworker at or after a company Christmas party. 50% have gotten too drunk and made a fool of themselves. 15% have missed work the next day because of a hangover. 24% got too drunk and told their boss something they shouldn't have. 25% tried to hit on their boss. 13% stripped off one item of clothing too many. Really? What Christmas party is this? 31% of people say they have had relationships, in quotes, with a coworker after a company Christmas party. Boy, the HR office must be busy right after those Christmas parties. I've never been to a Christmas party where any of this stuff happened. I've been going to Christmas parties for decades. Nothing ever like that happened. Here's a fun fact for you this morning. The most dangerous job in America. Well, you might think it's something like firefighters, police. Nope. The President of the United States. 9% of them have been killed while on the job. That's 4 out of 44 presidents. At the time, it was 4 out of 44. That was back when this poll was taken in 2015, so it's higher than that now. The next highest death rate on the job, loggers at 0.13%. Never thought of the president job being dangerous before, but I guess it is. Plenty of bad holiday movies out there. We talked about the good ones. How about the worst ones? Here's a list somebody came up with. It's not clear how much opinion went into this list, but they definitely took bad Netflix and Rotten Tomato ratings into account. As far as we know, they're not actually ranked. But Tim Allen's got 2 movies on the worst list. All right. The Tim Allen movie, Christmas with the Cranks, came out number 1, followed by the Ben Affleck movie, Surviving Christmas, the Anna Kendrick movie, Happy Christmas, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, The Dog Who Saved the Holidays. That was a made-for-TV movie with Joey Lawrence as the dog. Tyler Perry's A Medea Christmas, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians from 1964 with Pia Zadora. The Perfect Holiday. This one featured Queen Latifah and Terrence Howard as angels who take an interest in Gabriel Union's love life or something like that. Jack Frost. This was a 1997 horror movie about a killer snowman. This is not the Michael Keaton family film, Jack Frost. And the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause from 2006. It came out number 10 on the list. Yeah, just because it's Christmas doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie, right? All right, we're going to see what we can do with our guest who's supposed to be here, Debbie Hamlet, the general manager of PBS. The car wouldn't start this morning. It happens. Believe me. I start that engine in the morning and just pray it's going to start. Most times it does. So, but we're going to try to get her in here. If we can't get her in here, we're going to reschedule and get her in. She's got lots to say. It's 6:58 at WRJN Radio.